The Food and Drug Administration made headlines last week when it said it plans to gradually eliminate trans fats from the American food supply. Lori Johnson has this look at why food companies use trans fats and why medical experts warn they're so bad for you.
Packaged foods are loaded with trans fats because they're cheap, have a smooth texture, and prevent food from spoiling. Michael Moss investigated the processed food industry and says their huge profits are largely due to trans fats.
They got big by making products that are utterly irresistible to people, both in taste but also ultra convenient, that will sit on the shelf and be waiting for you when you're ready to eat them, and also incredibly low cost.
But trans fats are deadly, according to the medical community. Dr. Michael Aziz says because trans fats are artificially synthesized in a lab, our body doesn't know what to do with them.
Trans fats are really like plastic, and when we eat them, they incorporate in our cells, and the cells cannot communicate or talk to one another. In turn, hormones are disturbed. Weight gain follows, but more troubling, the risk for heart disease, cancer, stroke, infertility goes up.
Trans fats have even been linked to Alzheimer's disease and are the cornerstone of an inflammatory diet. Cardiologist Deepak Talreja tells his patients to scan a product's list of ingredients for trans fats, which are also called hydrogenated oils.
Trans fats are probably one of the most dangerous things we can consume that you see in everyday foods available to us that have no restrictions on them.
The Food and Drug Administration is giving food companies 2 months to try to prove trans fats are safe. If they can't, they'll be given a deadline to phase them out. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Pat, in the past, with talk about too much salt or too much sugar, you'd have accusations of people talking about the nanny state, but you don't seem to be hearing that with trans fats.
Well, they're killers, and I think we've known it for years. You know, I was talking to our producer. I said, I thought they'd banned those things already. We've heard about it. Many companies are taking out trans fats, but hydrogenated, partially hydrogenated oil, it sounds so painless.
Well, do you remember years ago we had the doctor on that had written the book called Excitotoxins, and
Yes.
how the flavors in those foods keep you coming back for more, and it's all chemicals.
Well, we put the screws to the soup companies on putting in substances on them, and you know, they began to advertise, we don't put any of these things in. So I think it's important to realize that these things can kill you. And you go to certain restaurants and you come out and you feel fatigued when you get through eating, and it's because of these excitotoxins they put in it. You know, there's no doubt about it that it's deadly, and it's deadly profitable, and that's the thing. But you know, I'm not a great fan of the FDA. I think they make some errors, but in this case, they need to get active, and I'm for activism. I'm sure Mayor Bloomberg would be thrilled. He's getting criticized because of the nanny state, but that's a good thing to do.